Hi, I'm Reyenga with the Christian Leaders Alliance, and please subscribe and ring the bell to find out more about officiating weddings. So today we're going to talk about the history of officiating weddings. Now, the first thing I want you to know is that this is somewhat new in the centuries of human existence. In the early days, fathers, patriarchs, arranged the marriages of their children. It was often something connected to power, and it was connected to status. Throughout the Old Testament, we even see so many stories about the arranging, like you can read in Genesis about Abraham arranging a wife for Isaac, and then you can see how Isaac was not happy with Esau, that he was married to Canaanite women. And then how Jacob, there was an arranged marriage with Laban's daughter who would be connected to the family. There were alliances. And throughout the Old Testament, you see that pattern. But that was not just the pattern in the Bible. That was the pattern throughout most cultures. Hebrew culture and Greek culture did that, Egyptian culture, Roman culture. So here comes the church, and new disruption comes to the whole wedding culture. The Apostle Paul teaches about weddings, teaches about getting married, and those teachings spread, and eventually in the early church, Christian fathers would say something about welcoming God into the marriage. Then ministers and priests would get connected. In about the year 1000, there was starting to be the development where marriage was as if a sacrament. And in the 12th century, it became a sacrament, and there were wedding forms and marriage forms. And the Catholic Church was connected to the state, the government. And then officiating became part of the church. It became part of the state. Well, that pattern continued to develop even through the Reformation. Protestant ministers officiated weddings, even though the weddings were not sacramental anymore. As time went on, and if we go to today, we see there is still the state desire for religious ministers to officiate weddings. And as time has gone on in the last 50 years, more and more people are getting their minister credentials through transactions. Just become a minister, send in some payment. But ministers who are trained, who are confident, who can do pre-marriage counseling well, ministers who have backing, recommendation, ministers who are posted, that ministry emphasis is something that many people desire and still want. Couples who ask you to perform a wedding, or if you're a wedding officiant, they want you to have training. They don't expect that you're going to get it because they love you and they want you part of their day. So the history of officiating is very recent, and it's trending in a direction where people are asking those they love, those they know. And at the Christian Leaders Alliance, we have a program where you get training, ministry training on how to perform a wedding ceremony, how to conduct a rehearsal, how to even do pre-marriage counseling. There's also a process by which you must gather a recommendation or an endorsement, and you will be posted on the Christian Leaders Alliance directory. It's a clergy directory. You know what I love, too, is that many of you will check this out, and you'll take this further into other ministry roles. So what's the history of officiating? It's somewhat new, and it's developing into a very personalized officiating where training can still occur, where the love of that connection is maintained and family is elevated and the word of God is proclaimed and marriage is promoted.